Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your fortnightly reading for May the 16th through to the 31st. Now, I'm keeping this fortnight, I'm trying to keep the readings to 15 to 20 minutes and the extenders are going to be slightly shorter. I'm on a bit of a time schedule because I'm going away. So it's either keep to the schedule and do the readings or don't do them and won't get done. So basically, I'm going to try to keep this reading to the 15 to 20 minute mark, and the extended will be slightly less, which means it will be at a special price as well. So it will be at a reduced price. So I'll talk about that a little bit later, but you have the Four of Cups, the High Priestess. So the Four of Cups is Neptune, Cancer. The High Priestess is Cancer, Moon, Taurus. So a lot of Cancer so far, and the Sword 5 Uranus Aquarius is coming in for you, Saggy. So there's something there's some kind of breakthrough around a new path and also around a relationship that's coming through here. And it really is around where you've felt contained. It's, a safety zone. It has felt very safe. But as also, it could have felt very constricted and confined. It's like, where have you felt a little bit bored? Where have you outgrown something? Where is there now a growing conflict that is kind of this sense of, I need to be doing something. I need to be doing something about it. These very highly intuitive messages are coming through. So it's kind of like you're getting the push from the universe around all of this, Saggy, to move beyond a comfort zone and step beyond a level where you were I feel like you're probably getting a bit frustrated and dissatisfied anyway. Yeah, the Seven of Swords crossed by the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, what areas are you not seeing the growth in? You're feeling quite stuck. So that's what this is looking at here, trying to free you up from that and move forward, because there is, there is opportunities here coming for you. And this is something that could be causing you a bit of stress coming through. We have the King of Cups, the Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, and the 7 of Wands. There you are, getting yourself in a better position. And at the base, the 10 of Swords. So I do feel like there's something really strong that you are letting go of here. Something ends. And it's almost like, because last reading was all about something is about to go boom, something is about to really kind of start happening. And we do have Uranus again in here. But what it's doing is, in order to move forward, you need to kind of pull a few things apart and deconstruct them, particularly around a conflict, or it might be creating conflict. So we have the Seven of Swords crossed by the Seven of Pentacles. I do feel like you're wanting to get away from a situation. You're wanting to get away from a situation that's felt too constricted, constrained, too many rules, someone else's rules. It's just not fun anymore. But the thing that's crossing you is that you wanting to kind of move beyond a restricted or constricted or limited space that you've been in, but you're kind of crossed by where you're going to see that growth, where you're going to place your energy in order to see that growth coming through. So that's kind of what you're both wanting, but what seeing more growth is what you're wanting, but also what's blocking you at the moment, because it may be hard to see that, because you do have this 8 of Swords here in your conscious mind, and this is kind of limitations, feeling stuck, feeling like, and it can be self-imposed limitations as well, feeling like you can't see the solution or the answer to how to do this, how to kind of break free and move forward. So that, or it might be that you're just very much seeing that you're in a very limited space at the moment. You could be surrounded by people that lack vision, and it's like, I just need to kind of move beyond that, or a person in particular, or it's a situation that it's just like, I can't see how I'm not seeing the growth. So that's what it just feels stagnant, this energy that's here. And so interesting, at the base you have the Four of Pentacles, and I think a lot of it might come down to the fact that these Pentacles and this Taurian energy is coming through. We are moving from Taurus season to air to Gemini. So the air is really going to suit you, probably, that transition. But this Four of Pentacles at the base, something happening deep down, is that it could have been that it felt like money was tight, or you just, it's kind of, the Four of Pentacles is, yes, there might be just enough, or there's enough money, or there's a strong foundation for money, however it is, or career. It's kind of like you found a stable ground. You might have found it's just a sense of what are you holding on too tightly to? What do you need to let go of? Where do we need some more flow and flexibility coming in terms of money, in terms of letting yourself kind of be exposed to new experiences, putting yourself out there, letting other people see your value and worth, and kind of putting yourself in the limelight. So these situations, you can be noticed, so that, you're at least in the space where the opportunity is. So it does feel like it's like something got very, very stuck and is kind of needing to really kind of release. And that's the frustration. There could be frustration around this, because this World card is something has ended and you have been released and liberated from something. This could be a sense of self even, but a cycle has ended underneath this Uranus Aquarius energy. And it's like, feeling liberated, feeling free, but then it's like, what am I stepping into? How can I actually enact this? How can I actually do it? And so it's kind of like, a part of you feels really free and a part of you feels very stuck. And it's even more frustrating because of the feeling of feeling free, because that freedom, that part of you that's free wants more freedom, more growth, more of that coming through. So a cycle has definitely ended, and it's kind of like you haven't quite stepped into the new yet here with this. It's kind of like there's always overlapping cycles, whatever's happening, but it's like, there's like something ended, and then to step into the new, it was kind of like your feet were stuck in mud and it was really hard to kind of move forward, and it's frustrating. And so that can be actually stressing you out a bit in the near future. The Nine of Swords is worrying about stuff that's going to happen that probably isn't going to happen. So this is really where your mind can go into overdrive. You can start being quite fearful and worrying about things, or overthinking stuff. It can be, sleepless nights, waking up in the middle of the night. It's just a bit of stress, anxiety, fear about, how you're going to get there, where you're going, all of this kind of energy coming through. So what I actually love is that, a lot of the theme around this is around home, safety, value, growth, and how you're going to combine the two of them, because yes, it could feel like there's a safe place at the moment, but you're wanting to move beyond that. So I love that, you are turning up as the King of Pentacles, which is that Taurian energy, which is fairly solid. You're kind of turning up pretty grounded and solid about this, pretty realistic about how you're actually going to make this happen, how you're going to get the money, what are you going to do about all of this, and methodically kind of looking at the process. So it's kind of brought you down to earth a little bit, which can feel like a bit of a reality check sometimes, but it can also be that you feel like you're in the right headspace, you're in the right place, because it's kind of like, looking at wealth, looking at long-term wealth, looking at success in business, and looking at health. All of those good things is what this King of Pentacles is. It's a very successful energy. So it's like you have changed and become this kind of King of Pentacles, but the energy around you is not reflecting that back. Your sense of self-value and self-worth has really kind of expanded, but it's not being reflected back at you, which is the frustration that's coming in here. And so, yes, this I feel like it's an elevated sense of self that's coming through. But around you, you have, in the energies surround you, you have this 10 of Cups. So there is this sense that there's a lot of happiness around you to kind of mine, to tune in on, and to be kind of experience. There is that around you, and it could also be that you're seeing other people happy, and you're like, this is either it's two things. It's there because it's reflecting back that this is possible for you, and if you're not accessing and feeling this, it's kind of showing you that other people have got this happiness, and this could be something that you can aspire towards as well. So it does feel like there is there are people that are on board with you that have kind of come into this new space with you, this new space of liberation and freedom, and they want to come alongside with you and come on this journey with you. It could be family or a tribe. However this is, it's kind of like that energy is there. You can sense it, you can taste it, you can feel it, but it is like an emotion. It's not necessarily something tangible at this moment in time, and that's what you're looking for, the tangibility of actually seeing it right in front of you. And so interestingly, with this Eight of Cups, it is hopes and fears about leaving something, absolutely, or detaching from something, detaching from an energy or walking away from something that has not been fulfilling you. So yeah, I mean, that can be a scary thing, but you can see both. This character's also walking away from something, but this is to do with your mind, that something has become too limited within your mind. And it can also be with the Seven of Swords. It can be, there's conflict around deception, not knowing what the truth is, not really, you know what you want to walk away from, but you don't know where you're going to. And so that can also be a difficult energy to get to. But I think over all of this, most of this, it appears to be a struggle inside your mind. And the energies that are presenting here are showing this is just simply because you've outgrown a situation or an energy and you're ready to expand. And there are some good energies around you. Absolutely, 100%. And this is where we're seeing that you're actually getting yourself in a much better position here. Is Seven of Wands, you've elevated into a higher position. And this is from fighting hard. This is really from a lot of hard work. And this could be just getting yourself into a better mental state, or getting into a state where you're better, more motivated and feeling stronger. Or it could also be getting in a state where you're actually kind of rising in social status or status. You could be fighting for a promotion, but it is that you really have had to fight for something to get where it is that you want to go to. And interestingly, the Ten of Swords is saying that something has definitely ended, and that's what this World card is saying as well. And it is part of what's happening is this reading has a lot to do with the fallout of of dealing with that ending. This Ten of Swords can be exhaustion. It can be health consequences. It can be ending of someone that has been very deceptive or stabbed you in the back, betrayal. It could have just been a very negative way of thinking about things that you're finally letting go of and been able to kind of step into some of this more positive energy that's surrounding you. But in order to move forward, these things do need to end, and we can see the darkness is now lifting, which is fantastic, and there is a new dawn. Whether you're aware of that or not, because you're not necessarily being shown that in this reading. And so that's why there's this sense of going through a passage of almost like limbo. And you really, with this High Priestess energy, it's really trusting your intuition into this journey, this night journey, or this highly intuitive space you've gone into. And the big question really is trusting where it is that you're going, trusting yourself. And that's kind of really what this is. It's almost like the universe is saying, are you, presenting this amazing offer in front of you and going, this is where we want to go. And then kind of taking it away and putting the blindfolds on and saying, now we want you to walk blindfold towards it, where you can't really see exactly where you're going, but you have a sense that you're heading in that direction. And that can be what it is I do feel like you are being tested. That's the thing that's going on here, Saggy. I do feel like this is a bit of a test, because it's kind of like walking over hot coals. It's saying, do you trust that you can get to the other side without getting hurt, firstly, without getting burnt, and trust that you can do this? It's saying, we've presented this amazing opportunity. Now you have to believe in yourself. And we're going to give you the opportunity to do that, because things are going to start feeling uncomfortable, because you're going to start feeling like little things are going to start annoying you, like at work or it does feel very work orientated, this, but it can also be around the home as well, and whatever relationships or spaces you have around the home are feeling a bit constricted, like spaces and people and things are irritating you. And that is a sign. Like if that's happening, that's a sign that you're ready to expand and to be open up to that. So let's see what this is. Let's pull a card coming in. And it says, I am worth loving. I do not have to earn love. I am lovable because I exist. Others reflect the love I have for myself. And, that's why I think that a lot of this energy of something ending and something opening up and being freed is this liberated sense of self. And again, I am worth loving. This is what this this King of Pentacles, he knows his worth now. And so now that you know your worth, if you're getting less than what you think you're worth, it's going to be frustrating. It's going to annoy you. But that is really like, take advantage of that. Take advantage of the motivation, the energy and the frustration to want to move forward from that, because that's what it's wanting to do. It's kind of... Sorry, that was my timer just going off. It's kind of wanting to really kind of get you up and going and get you really all those bits that might be coming in as the self-sabotage or the abundance blockers. They're coming up and they're kind of coming up to kind of so that you can break free and smash that open and move forward from that. So that's the kind of energy coming through, Saggy, and it's going to be interesting to see what's coming up in the extended reading, actually, because we're going to pull some cards for the future and the future beyond it. And it's funny when you have a reading and they don't necessarily tell you and what's happening. It's just saying you're going to get in a better position. Trust that. But it's funny when you get that, because we'll see what it is like. I said it's a process of trust, but we'll see if we can find out more in the extended reading as well and see what comes through. So you, as a little charm, you have the mermaid, and that is all. The mermaid is, interestingly, there's all these mythologies around crashing and following the wrong direction and things, sailors being pulled to their doom by listening to the call of the mermaid or the siren on the rocks. And it's very much that it's a mythology here, a mermaid. It is really kind of saying, look at what stories you're telling yourself about where things went wrong or where things are going to crash or where things are going to crash and burn, and trusting really that inner calling within yourself, trusting that gut intuition that you are going to be heading in the right direction, that it's not something that's this calling that is coming in now, and it quite literally feels like a calling, is pulling you in the right direction. It's not going to pull you in a direction where you're going to crash and burn on the rocks. So it's actually really a very deep sense of learning to trust yourself, because it's like you need a solid foundation, and the Four of Pentacles is all about solid foundations. You need a solid sense of self-worth and self-value, a very strong, solid foundation in order to move into what the universe is about to offer you and step into. So that's kind of what it's doing. It's really, with this King of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, it's really moving really steadfastly into that. And it can also be a solid foundation in terms of financial as well, like really saying, we need a strong platform to bounce off, but we're not going to stay here for too long. We just need to know you're on solid ground before you step into this bigger and better thing. So that's it, Saggy. It's kind of interesting energy that's coming through for you. And it's like you can really work with this energy. It's got so much in it that can bring you this inner resilience and strength and fortitude. So that's really what it is. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust this journey? Can you trust your inner calling and your gut to follow this path now? Because it's funny, before you always kind of get tested just as you're about to step into something big. So that's kind of the energy of what's coming in for this reading. So I'm going to take it over to the extended reading now, and the extended readings are going to be slightly shorter. as mentioned, because of the time constraints that I'm under this fortnight, which means they're going to be at a reduced price. So really what we're going to do is go straight to pulling cards for what's coming in the near future and the future beyond. And it's going to be really interesting to see what comes out for you, Saggy, because it's kind of very not been very forthcoming in that energy. Some readings are very tight-lipped, and that's one of them. And then we're going to pull cards for career, money, love, and relationships, and see if we can get some specific in energies and some specific information around that. So I'd love it if you come over to that. The link is in the description box below. Check it out and go have a look. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. This is where I'm going to end this part of the reading, and love it if you enjoyed this content, if you could subscribe, like, leave a comment or share, because that is a way that you can tell YouTube that you're enjoying this content and supports the channel. And I love reading your comments. So take care, Sagittarius, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much.